A newspaper published a chilling story about a young woman who vanished without a trace. Her name was Dorothy Payne. The case, they claimed, dated back to 1813. And what makes it even more unsettling is that no one could say for certain whether what happened to her was real or something far darker. Before we begin, I want to ask you something. Do you think stories like this, buried in old newspapers, are based on real events or carefully written fiction meant to feel real? Let me know in the comments below, because by the end of this story, you might not be so sure. About the close of the year 1813, an orphaned family lived in the town of North End in England. But this was not the North End known at the time the story was published. Back then, the river ran clear, lined with trees, shaded paths, and quiet places where people walked alone. It was peaceful, too peaceful, perhaps, for what was about to happen. The Payne family had once lived in comfort, but after their father died, suddenly and under distressing circumstances, everything changed. His business had failed, and what he left behind was barely enough to keep his children from complete poverty. Among them was Dorothy Payne, young, beautiful, and once deeply in love. There had been a man, Walter Mayburn, someone who had once written to her, promised her things, but after her father's death, he disappeared. No letters, no visits, nothing. Still, Dorothy kept those letters. She refused to burn them. Why? Was it hope or something she couldn't let go of? Years passed, and eventually, Dorothy found someone new. Dr. Aldred, a respected man, a man she trusted, a man who, on one cold November evening, was supposed to take her out, but he never came. That night, it grew dark. Fog rolled in, the kind of fog that swallows sound and hides everything. Dorothy sat upstairs, working quietly. Then she heard it, the front door handle turning. She paused. There is William, she said to herself, and without hesitation, she ran downstairs and opened the door. And there, standing near the table, was a tall man. He turned, and Dorothy looked up, smiling, into the face she believed she knew. But here's the question. Who was that man? Was it Dr. Aldred? Was it someone else, or someone from her past? The next morning, Dorothy Payne was gone. No one saw her leave. No one heard anything. Nothing was disturbed, just gone. Her sister insisted she had gone to visit a friend, but the doctor denied knowing where she was, though he admitted they had argued. Then came another accusation, perhaps with her lover, Walter Mayburn. At that, her brother exploded. "Do you dare, sir, to question my sister's honor?" The entire town of North End erupted. People searched everywhere, the river, the roads, nearby homes. But there was nothing. No footprints, no witnesses, no clues. Some believed she had taken her own life. Others were certain Dr. Aldred had murdered her. And a few, just a few, believed she was still alive. Days passed, then weeks, then months. Winter tightened its grip, freezing the river solid, and with it, any hope of answers. Then, nearly 5 months later, as spring began to thaw the frozen earth, someone made a discovery. "We found your sister." "Where?" "In the river." She lay there, trapped in the ice, perfectly preserved, her long fair hair floating, her blue eyes still open, as if she had been frozen in the very moment of her death. It was almost impossible to believe she was gone, and yet the biggest question remained. How did she die? Did she jump? Was it an accident? Or was she murdered by someone she trusted enough to open the door that night? Her reputation was cleared, her innocence proven, but the truth was never found. And to this day, the death of Dorothy Payne remains an unsolved mystery. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think happened? Do you believe it was suicide, murder, an accident, or something else entirely? And here's the real question. Was this ever a real case at all? Or a story written so convincingly that it still feels real? Over 200 years later? Let me know in the comments, because sometimes the most chilling mysteries aren't just about what happened, but whether it happened at all.